So the integration of our global digital village has begun. We're now meeting each other based off the ideas and the interests that we share, as opposed to the borders that we were born inside. G'day, parceros. I just had a delicious Mexican bowl here in the food court of El Tesoro Mall, one of the nicest, probably one of the most exclusive centro comerciales, shopping malls in Colombia. And while I was having lunch, I got a comment, and this comment was presented so nicely, I had to respond. Here's the comment from Luisa. I love that you, Sam, try to show the good sides of Colombia and portray Medellin as the great city it is. But please, I don't know, maybe stop it? Kindly? Haha. What is going to happen is that all of those expats that can still work remotely and earn in stronger currencies are going to overload the market, and everything is going to be super expensive for the locals who still earn in Colombian pesos. I wish all the paisas that get so excited by all the gringo material coming to town realize that it might benefit us at first, but ultimately Medellin will be like Barcelona, where no local can afford to live there at the expat set standards. Also, these guys are obviously taking advantage of that and giving its opinion from a very biased perspective. We do care about international politics, mainly because our GDP depends on it. But of course, I imagine that the girls he is hanging out with have not had the benefit of good education because they can't afford it. It would be lovely that instead of praising us for cheap services and prices, you could show why we offer such low exchanges, how the sub-economy of illegal businesses subsidizes everything, and why you are indirectly taking advantage of it. And maybe do something to change the status quo. I don't know, just a random idea. So this is a comment about gentrification, and it's a word that I've wanted to make a video about for quite a while. I think this is a good time as ever to get into that. Gentrification has some negative consequences and some positive consequences. I'll be the first to say that. People who are low-income earners living in an area that has an influx of wealthy residents who see value in living in that area, usually they'll end up paying more rent or being displaced to another part of town. Now, the word can sometimes be confused and mixed up with economic development, especially in Latin America, where you have some very underdeveloped areas of town that are starting to be realized for their potential. You have new construction going in, which means renovation of parks, renovation of schools, and you'll find in areas that are gentrified, you'll have higher education levels, you'll have lower crime rates, and of course an increase in property values. Now, this directly benefits homeowners, but doesn't necessarily benefit people who are just renting. So one of the best ways to mitigate this is to have programs that allow rent control, or allow lower income earners to access the property market and become homeowners themselves. If you look at what's happened here in Colombia, there's been a 20-year boom in the real estate market, and imagine the amount of equity that has been created over those past 20 years. That is millions of people who are seeing the benefits of gentrification. So the strata system is a system used here that defines the socio-economic level of a part of town. And you're seeing that 80% of Colombians who live in stratas 1, 2, and 3 are growing. The middle class in Colombia is growing, and I think we're seeing the results of that by the boom of centro comerciales that have been built everywhere. This is definitely one of the most exclusive strata 6 centro comerciales. And walking around here, 99 out of 100 people that I'm seeing are Colombian. So I think it's a hard call to say that, you know, this type of project was built because of the foreigners who are coming to live specifically in this part of town. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but that's not saying that the this boom of of El Poblado, Provenza, Laureles, Envigado. There's a lot of foreigners who are realizing the value of these places. And I think that's what gentrification is at its core. It's people realizing the value of a location. Now, when you have really good public transport, and Medellin is doing a very good job at building that infrastructure, it actually makes more parts of town desirable to live. And that can actually lessen the effects of gentrification. So I think we're going to find people who are going to say that gentrification is good and that gentrification is bad. My personal opinion is that it's both. I also think it's a inevitable force of human nature to desire to live in a part of town or in a city that adds value to their life. And I don't see that changing anytime soon in our capitalist free market. Now, when you look at how China approached the topic, I think they had a much more aggressive expansion approach, and they forced this economic development in areas. This is based off reports from people who have visited China saying that small parts of town were just replaced with new cities almost overnight. And this process created a giant population of Chinese people with a lot of income and wealth to invest in real estate markets across the world. Even in my home market in Australia, in Vancouver, I also saw it there. So this is now a global real estate market that we're living in. And I think Luisa's comment about digital nomads is absolutely valid. If you can generate your income from a particular currency that is valuable and use currency arbitrage to live in a country with a weaker currency, then you are at an advantage. And I think this is an opportunity open to absolutely anyone, whether you're Colombian, American, Chinese, Australian, it doesn't matter. We now have access to a global commercial market, and how we use it is up to us. So we can complain or criticize that this is an effect and look at the negative consequences of it. We can either jump on board and try to be conscious of how it's playing out and providing education to where it's needed in order for more people to improve their quality of life in this new global economy and market that we are now living in. So this is a really hot topic, especially with my recent Puerto Rico videos as well. There's a controversy over who is local, who is defined as a local, and what rights does that give you to live in a place and to keep that place exactly the same and not allow it to develop. And I think one of the big arguments against gentrification is that locals who have a perceived right to keep things the same and keep things at the same level, that other people who come in with more money, or maybe they have an unfair advantage, are taking away what's rightfully theirs. Now, that's a difficult topic for a government to say that this certain population has a right to pay only this much for a place to live. But there's ways to do it, and there are policies that allow people to have a chance to keep up with an economy that's growing. So I'm collecting some of my thoughts as we go along here, but I think there is a net benefit to the process that can be called economic development, the appreciation of an area of town. You see benefits in crime, education, safety, longevity of citizens in the area. When we all decide together that a place is a desirable place to live, there's more energy, there's more economic stimulation, and things like this happen. I'm not sure what was here before this, but there might have been a family that was living in an apartment or in a house, and hopefully they left at their own free will at the price they wanted for the piece of land that they owned. It seems like shopping malls are in a decline in the United States, partly because it's just easier to click a button on Amazon and have it arrive on your door. But here in Colombia, the shopping malls are integral to, I think, family life especially. but as a meeting point. I think on a Sunday evening, you'll find that the streets are very, very quiet, but the malls are full of people, full of couples, full of families, full of groups who are hanging out, wandering around, eating, playing, watching, being entertained, shopping, buying, generating energy together. At this moment, it seems to be a very important community platform for people to come together and connect. All right, so let's sum up some of the takeaways from this vlog. One, connection is a critical part of community and personal happiness. Two, being a digital nomad, that gives you the ability to use currency arbitrage to your advantage, is a good thing. Three, gentrification is an inevitable force. I think it has both good and bad consequences. Four, gentrification doesn't cause winners and it doesn't cause losers. Gentrification is the byproduct of a growing economy, and how people interact and take advantage of that opportunity or not will define whether they win or lose. Five, I think one of the biggest factors that determines whether you win or lose is embracing your fears. I think the things that get in our way, the things that we believe we cannot do, are the things that define our future more than our dreams, more than anything else. What we think we can't do is probably what we should do to move forward. Number six, we live in a global economy, a global market that you can access from your pocket with your phone, and you can take advantage of currency arbitrage if you really want it. It's been happening for decades with globalization, but now it's getting easier than ever to participate. And yes, Colombia, it's time to get ready. Colombia is rich, diverse, and it's only just starting to realize its full potential. The world is only going to keep finding out about Colombia, and the millions of people who are coming here are having an incredible time, and they're telling the many millions of their friends. So the integration of our global digital village has begun. We're now meeting each other and making friends based off the ideas and the interests that we share, as opposed to the borders that we were born inside. What does that mean for Colombia? It means I think Colombia should take a hard look at what parts of their culture, what parts of their character, of their moral structure, of their values are they going to preserve no matter what, as influences from all over the world come and begin to integrate into Colombia. So Colombia as a country, get ready. You as an individual from anywhere in the world, including Colombia, it's time to be present in this new world we're living in. It's time to understand the incredible opportunity it is to live through an age similar to the Industrial Revolution, when railroads and oil changed the way we all live and interact globally. What's happening in this moment is incredibly epic. Don't take it for granted. Get out there, embrace your dreams, embrace your fears. There's no better time to be doing it. See you guys in the next video.
Hi there, thanks for tuning in. I wanted to check in real quick and make sure that you've signed up to my newsletter. Each week I'm sharing lifestyle investment opportunities. These are investments that generate passive income as well as enable an independent international lifestyle. I'll be curating the best opportunities from Colombian and Latin American real estate, agriculture, crypto, and digital real estate. To sign up, head over to newsletter.sammiller.life.